What's up guys, Hayato here, and today I'm going to be doing the part 2 of the free wholesaling real estate step-by-step course. And if you haven't watched part 1 of my video, please go ahead and do so that you can understand what I'm going to be talking about in this specific video for today. So in part 1 we talked about how to go ahead and find a market, what market you might want to go into and everything. So in this part 2, we're going to talk about what you can go ahead and do once you know the market you want to go into. So without further ado, let's just go right into the video. So after knowing what market you want to go into, the next thing that I highly suggest that people go ahead and do is to start networking and finding cash buyers. Now, some people might think, no, that's not the way to do it. You should go find motivated sellers first and go find, properties to go get under contract in. But for me, I personally suggest to have investors and cash buyers lined up before you go and even do that. And a few reasons why I suggest to do that is, one, you can go ahead and as soon as you find a property, you already know which buyer to go to. And second of all, once you find these investors who know exactly what they want, what criteria they want, what zip codes, it makes it a lot easier for you to go and find these properties, and you can target a lot more of a narrow lead source than you would where you have to go general and you have to find buyers there and try to figure out what you're trying to match pretty much your property that you got with a buyer you found. But if you already have an investor, you can say, okay, I'm going to narrow down and find these properties that they want, so that when you find that property that works, you know that you have an investor already ready to buy. So that's something that's just something that I suggest, but you definitely don't have to go with this next step. Again, it's just my preferred way to do it, or kind of my advice, but take it with a grain of salt. You can go ahead and find properties and get them under contract first, but again, I prefer that you have an investor lined up first, and then you go ahead and find those properties, then try to find those properties for that specific buyer. Not only do I suggest finding cash buyers, but I also suggest finding title companies or closing attorneys, depending on what state you're in, which market you're in. You definitely want to go ahead and find those people that will work together with you. So you definitely want a wholesale friendly title / closing attorney, because they're the ones who are going to be facilitating your entire transaction. They're going to be one of the most important aspects of your wholesaling business. So if you don't have a good closing attorney or title company, you're going to struggle a lot. And so that's why I really stress that you find them also before you go ahead and get properties under contract. So the next big question then is, well, how do I go ahead and find these cash buyers? So there are a few ways to do it, and there's a few places that you can go to. Here's some that I suggest. You may recognize this from my dashboard from the last video, but you can see this is Connected Investors, and this is a great place to go ahead and network and find other investors in your area that might want to purchase in the markets that you're in. So I would go here, scroll down, see what investors are looking for. You can see that a lot of people are asking to find properties with the criteria that they're looking for. So definitely go here and try to figure out what properties these investors are looking for, if they're in the right market, and if you think you can go ahead and find these properties for them. So Connected Investors is a great place to do it. Another great place to find cash buyers and investors, again, is Bigger Pockets. This is such a great spot to find all these people who are looking to invest and looking to buy new properties in a certain market. And just like Connected Investor, they're going to tell you exactly what they're looking at, and you can go ahead and try to connect with these people individually and figure out how you can go ahead and provide value for them. So another good place is to go to Facebook groups and find people there. So if you type in something like cash buyers in Memphis, or cash buyers in Atlanta, cash buyers in Florida, they might come up, and you can see you can join different Facebook groups and you can find investors in your area as well. And you can also join some general ones, and you'll be able to find other investors that might be looking for properties nationwide, and you can go ahead and connect with them as well. Another place you can go to is Craigslist. It's not the best one out there, but it's definitely an option that you can go ahead and use. where you can go and look for investors who say, usually it says something like, we buy homes in, and they put some zip codes and whatever they have. They even have their numbers on there, and you can go ahead and contact them and figure out what their criteria is and whether or not you might be able to find a property for them. So Craigslist is definitely another place that you can go ahead and find investors as well. Now, to find a title company, it's not too much of a difference. You're gonna have to do some research. That's just, again, it's the name of the game, right? You're gonna have to do research on your own, but here's how you can get started. So just type in state by state closing guide, and it should be the first one that comes up. Here it'll tell you whether or not the state that you're looking to go into, or the market you're trying to go into to wholesale, whether or not they are using closing attorneys or a title company. So you can see Arizona uses title companies and title agents. Alaska uses title companies. Arkansas uses title agents, and so forth. So you can go ahead and see what each state's require and what each state uses, and from there you can figure out, okay, I need to find a closing attorney or I need to find a title company. So let's say you found a title company that is willing to work with you. They sound great. They sound like they're able to get everything that you need in order for you to close a property. So the next thing you need are contracts, and the contracts that you're gonna need very first is the purchase and sale agreement. And the purchase and sale agreement is what's gonna help you get a property under contract and with the motivated seller. So this is the very first contract that you're gonna go want to find. And what you're gonna wanna do is, once you find this purchase and sale agreement, you go back to the title company and say, hey, look, this is the purchase and sale agreement that I have. Do you guys accept this? Another thing you can do is you can ask the title company, hey, do you have a purchase and sale agreement that you can just send me? That might be easier, but if not, then you can just go ahead and look one up on your own and see if they even accept that. So again, just go on Google, and on Google, you pretty much want to just type in purchase and sale agreement, whatever city you're going into, and whatever state that city is in, to find a templated purchase and sale agreement that might work for you. So in this case, I typed in purchase and sale agreement Atlanta, Georgia, just to keep the example the same. And you can go ahead and see there's a bunch that you can go find here. And once you scroll through and figure out which one you are, which one seems good, you're gonna have to click through a few, I would assume. But you can already see we kind of found one already. And what you do is you go to the title company and you say, hey, is this something that you would accept? And if it is something that they accept, great. You can take out some of the branding and everything here. And if you want, you can also get it looked by an attorney and figure out where in the contract that you need to go fill out and everything. But at least you have the purchase and sale agreement that first the title company accepts, and second, something that you can go ahead and send to the motivated seller too. So again, this is a really, really important document that you need to get a property under contract with the motivated seller. So the next contract that you're gonna want is called an assignment contract, and this is when you go ahead and find an investor to assign your purchase and sale agreement contract to. So in this assignment contract, you're gonna be putting the amount of how much your fee is gonna be and what you're selling it to the investor for, and all these other clauses in there. And we can go further into that later. Right now, we're just trying to figure out, how to get these contracts so that you can show it to title and make sure that they accept it. So as you can see, just type in assignment contract wholesaling. I just recommend going to the wholesaler toolbox that this person has. It's pretty good. They have other purchase and sale agreements and whatnot. Purchase and sale agreements, they differ from state to state, so I wouldn't use his here. But for assignment contracts, generally, it doesn't really matter what state you're in, because the assignment contract is just saying, hey, I'm gonna assign this purchase and sale agreement from this state to this investor. So the assignment contract can generally just stay the same, and you can just download a contract from here that works, and you can go ahead and see if the title company accepts that as well. Alright, so now that you have the purchase and sale agreement contract, the assignment contract, you have a title company that you know you can work with that accepts the two contracts that you found, or maybe they gave to you, and you also have a list of cash buyers that you've worked and networked with for a long time. I would say spend at least a few weeks or maybe a month or so, just networking with these investors and cash buyers in your area so that you have a good list that you can hit up and then say, hey, I found this property, are you interested? So build that cash buyers list up, and then build a network, build a connection, and then then you can go ahead and figure out how you can get properties under contract, which I will go ahead and show you in the next few parts anyway. So in this part, cash buyers list, the 2 contracts that I talk about, and the title company, these are going to be really, really important to move to the next step and to the next stage of wholesaling. But I hope this video was really, really informative, and I hope that this can help you get connections to title companies, your contracts, and everything set up before you move on to the next step. So again, I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.